thing I'm doing is I'm looking at him. So this is just a primary care physician, what they should be doing, okay? I'm looking at him, I'm looking at his posture. So right here, general approach, appearance, behavior, and attitude. So to me, he looks like he's dressed appropriately, he's answering appropriately, he's listening to me, and he's answering the questions correctly, right? I've got his attention, I have his concentration, and his executive function. So he answered, my question as to, are you stressed out just lately, or the timeline. I see his thought process, he's coming here to explain something to me, and his speech is normal. Affect is the way that somebody may be looking. So for example, if he was looking sad, that would be like a sad affect. So it's just a facial thing. Insight and judgment, he's looking, he's making eye contact with me, he's ready to answer any more questions I have. And then next I'm going to do a memory evaluation. So the orientation and perception exam, that would be something also, if I felt like he needed it, but he does not need it. So.
Dr. Padilla, do you pay any attention to the fact that he's
hands are crossed? Right. So most men don't want to be, and this is not, I'm not sexist or anything, most men don't really want to be here, right? He wants to go to work, he wants to do his thing. So I can see he's a little bit apprehensive to even be here in general, and he's probably apprehensive to answer these questions. He's concerned, but he doesn't really want to be here, and I don't blame him. I understand. So the next thing I need to do is I have to take him seriously. A lot of physicians at this point, I'm going to ask him to repeat those words, okay? The next thing is name months backwards. This is actually challenging.
Name months backwards?
You got it. So Vince, now the arms are uncrossed. I love it. You're going to name the months backwards. Start with December, and I'll tell you when to stop. Go.
Oh my gosh, I can't do anything without my cell phone anymore. Geez, December, November, October. Dude, I'm already lost.
It's hard. Yeah, you're almost there. Starts with S. And I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, this is hard, right? When you're put on the spot by a physician, this isn't easy. Because when it's like us, we're just sitting here, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh, okay, here we go, dun 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 dun. But I'm not being put under the gun here. Next, interrupted counting. All right, so the exam is supposed to be that you count to 100. We're not going to do that, okay? But what we are going to do is I'm going to have you start counting, and then I'm going to interrupt you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Stop. So you're supposed to wait a minute, but we're not going to do that. Continue.
15, 16, 17.
Perfect. All right. Constructual ability. So what this means is, I'm sure you guys have heard the clock test. I do not have paper. I'm not going to make you do it. But with that said, he's supposed to draw a clock, and then I'm supposed to tell him a time, and he's supposed to use like the big hand and the small hand and put that on this clock. Sorry, that's the clock. And the other one, the ability is doing shapes. So I'm supposed to ask him, for example, can you draw a diamond or a rectangle or a hexagon? And then he draws out the shapes. So we've done all that. So far, so good. He's doing pretty good, right? Okay. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is go ahead and recall those 3 words.
Apple, house, orange.
What was it, guys? Right, but you guys know I'm under the gun right now, so it's a lot more laid back. So it is hard. This is a hard thing, okay? And then, okay, so we're not going to do the 30-minute delay recall on past events, but what I am going to ask you is, how did you get here?
My car.
Okay, we'll go with that. All right, so now that gave me the short term. So he knew how he got here, just now he did that, right? And then lastly, we now have to test medium to long-term memory. Can you name 4 presidents in the last 100 years?
George Bush, Barack Obama, Clinton, Trump.
Okay. Let me make it a little bit more challenging. You look like you're younger than me, okay? Just bear with me here. Can you name a president from, let's go, the 60s or 70s?
Jimmy Carter.
Guys? All right, so far so good. History of forgetting, so Mr. Vince, do you have any issues with cooking food? Okay, has your wife said to you, hey, you had the stove going on, you just left the stove on, anything along those lines? Okay, so these are things that if he was having memory issues, he may point out or he may not point out, And that's why it's so important also to have a spouse involved. So if he's having true memory issues, the other thing that you have to remember is he might not know he's even having that bad of memory issues. So this spouse might say, hey, no. Whoa, what are you talking about? He leaves the stove on all the time. Right? Or maybe he didn't want to tell me. I don't know. Okay. Vince, when you're driving, do you rely on your phone for like GPS settings? Or are you pretty comfortable getting around the streets?
I do everything GPS, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to probably make an appointment with him at some point. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you know, I mean, nowadays our technology, we do use MapQuest or whatever. But that is one of the things that you get lost in familiar neighborhoods. So if you get to a certain street, do you ever feel lost in that particular neighborhood, or are you pretty comfortable?
No, I'm pretty comfortable if I know my surroundings.
Yeah. All right. So you can go ahead and have a seat. Thank you.